it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again. 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 I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again. 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 We can fly again. I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again. 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 I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again. sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. Been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again.
Continuing to lead, and just Jose having little looks everywhere, still not able to get around him. What an unbelievable defensive masterclass this is from Unorthodox. Pit window we reckon is open, so the game reckons that these guys need to make one more pit stop for a fresh set of inters. And we see just Jose having a little to the inside. Dan tries to close the door, squeezes up against the pit wall. It goes late on the brakes to Dan, and somehow he's going to hold on to that position. Wow, unbelievable racing that was from Unorthodox. Just Jose had the inside line. Dan went so late on the brakes and managed to hold it down on the outside, and just Jose wasn't able to cling onto the position. That is incredible racing there from Unorthodox. Really got his elbows massively there in that little battle. But just Jose still not able to get ahead of Dan. But is he going to be able to do it now? He's going to have the outside. Dan's going to try and throw one back up the inside. Is he is? Oh, look at that. He's gone deep into the corner though. And I think just Jose's got to have that move done. He has. Just Jose swoops round into the lead of the Russian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Dan can fight it no more. He put up a valiant effort. Continuing to lead, and just Jose having little looks everywhere, still not able to get around him. What an unbelievable defensive masterclass this is from Unorthodox. Pit window, we reckon, is open, so the game reckons that these guys need to make one more pit stop for a fresh set of inters. As we see just Joe having a little to the inside. Dan tries to close the door, squeezes up against the pit wall. It goes late on the brakes just down, and somehow he's going to hold on to that position. Wow, unbelievable racing that was from Unorthodox. Just Jose had the inside line. Dan went so late on the brakes and managed to hold it around the outside, and just Jose wasn't able to cling onto the position. That is incredible racing there from Unorthodox. Really got his elbows massively there in that little battle, but just Jose still not able to get ahead of Dan. But is he going to be able to do it now? He's going to have the outside. Dan's going to try and throw one back up the inside. Is he is? Oh, look at that. He's gone deep into the corner though. And I think just Jose's got to have that move done. He has. Just Jose swoops round into the lead of the Russian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Dan can fight it no more. He put up a valiant effort. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, lights are on. We're about to go racing here at Mexico for the XLF1 League, round 17 of the season, and it is lights out and away we go. And Bennett LCFT gets a good start off the line. Mark Bow slightly bogged down. He's going to have RaKiMaJe and Horatio looking on the back of him as RaKiMaJe has already gone ahead of Horatio up into third place. Stand there in fifth. Andrew Pittsmith, Viper, so from Mr. Exotic and Paul Codd at the back. But as we come into turn one, the McLarens look like they're going to be going very close here. As we see Andrew Pittsmith there trying to hold it around the outside there of Horatio, and Viper drops down to P7 at the start. RaKiMaJe is just behind Mark Bow, so Mark Bow holds on for that second place for the time being. Stand there running just behind RaKiMaJe. As we see there Andrew Pittsmith looking to go on, hold it around the outside of Horatio, but Horatio manages to get himself into fifth place there. So Horatio up a position there, Viper in seventh. You've got Soap running in eighth with Mr. Exotic and Paul Codd at the back here. But a bit of a hectic first up in that mid pack as Andrew Pittsmith is now coming on the outside of Horatio, but Horatio cuts the inside and that corner massively there and holds on to his position as a result, and rightly so gets a 3-second penalty for that one. As Andrew Scott, Viper are very close in the back of him right now. Paul Codd's got ahead of RaKiMaJe. What's happened to RaKiMaJe? Oh no, RaKiMaJe's had a moment there. What's happened? He's dropped down to P10. I didn't see what happened there. He was running up the front of him moments ago, but he's down up to P10 in this race. Bennett leads ahead of Mark Bow at the moment. Sand there running in third with Horatio just behind. Andrew Pittsmith there in fifth with Viper. So Mr. Exotic, Paul Codd and RaKiMaJe at the back of the field. But oh, what a shame there. Not really sure what happened there with RaKiMaJe, but he's down in P10 in this one. Bennett and Mark Bow currently 4 tenths between them as they're coming up towards turn one, but Bennett holds on for the time being. San just ahead of Horatio at the moment. Viper is trying to hold on from Andrew as Andrew and Viper side by side. The two McLarens going at it here at the beginning of the second lap, but Viper squeezes around the outside up into fifth place ahead of Andrew, and it's now the lead McLaren here in this race. Mark Bow still on the back of Bennett right now, half a second between these two out the front. But Bennett's still doing a good job here of holding on ahead of Mark Bow for the time being. Horatio very close to the back of Sam right now, half a second between these two. But yeah, right now Horatio trying to get something done here, trying to get onto the podium spots if he can. Andrew just ahead of Viper at the moment, 7 tenths of a second, but he's pulling out that gap having got that move done a few moments ago. Mr. Exotic there on there in 7th, just ahead of Soph. He's pulled out a second of a gap here to Soph actually, as Paul Codd is running just behind Soph, and RaKiMaJe looks like he's been into the pits at the end of the first lap. So he's got that one done and out of the way there, as Bennett is just set the fastest lap of the race out the front. He's pulling away a little bit from Mark Bow, but Mark's keeping him on his toes at the moment. No DRS this time around. It will be open on the next lap here for Mark Bow, I believe, so he won't be able to utilise that open rear wing this time around. Horatio's down the inside here of Sand, and he's got that move done up into third place. I think no, Sand's going to try and hold it around the outside if he can. They're still going to be side by side for turn 2, and I think that Horatio's just about going to get that done. Yes, he does. He closes the door there on Sand, and he's up into third place. Beautifully done there from Horatio, up a position. Andrew's got back ahead of Viper up into 5th. Didn't see that happen, but he's now up into P5 once again. Viper down to 6th. Mr. Exotic still running in 7th place. He's got still a second of a gap back to Soap in 8th, and Paul Codd running in P9 at the moment, with RaKiMaJe having made that stop down in P10 in this race. Bennett and Mark Bodo still battling out here on lap 3 of this race. And Mark Bow is just keeping Bennett on his toes. And oh, Mark Bow's lost it. No! Oh, Mark Bow has just gone into the wall a little bit. Looks like he's escaped without major damage. But that's going to lost him a lot of time there. As Horatio's up into second, San third. And Andrew Pittsmith gets fourth place there ahead of Mark Bow. Mark Bow slots in between the two McLarens. And he's lost it again. Oh, no! Oh, Viper must have had half it heart in mouth there as Mark Bow slid back onto the track. And Mark Bow's now going to have DRS on Viper, is he? I don't know. But no, he loses out to Mr. Exotic there. Mark Bow losing positions left, right and centre. He's gone from 0 to 0 here in this race. He was the one taking the fight to Bennett LCFC in this race, and now he's in 7th place. He's in the middle of the pack. He's got Soph and Paul Cott not too far behind him there in 8th and 9th places. Bennett is now left out the front by himself, and what a shame for Mark Bow. You've got to feel for him after that, as he's now looking to the outside of Mr. Exotic, coming down the start finish straight up towards turn 1. Is he going to have this one done? He's got the DRS wide open, which will aid him to get that move done, and up into turn 1. Mark Bow back up into P6, but he's got a long way to go to come back and get the positions that he had earlier on, that is for sure. Bennett LCFC in the lead and seems to have a comfortable gap out the front, as now Mark Bow's got DRS on Viper here and should be able to get this one done around the outside. Or is Viper going to be able to fight back coming onto the brakes? No, Mark Bow sweeps around the outside there up into 5th place. Beautifully done there from Mark Bow. Goes a little bit wide there through the next corner, but gets away with it by the looks of it. But Bennett out the front has a gap of almost 5 seconds over Horatio. His teammate there is in P2, but I wonder how that's going to go between these two, Bennett and Horatio. We've seen them quite evenly matched at points during this season, but Bennett generally has had the upper hand, and Bennett, as we've seen, has taken so many wins over the course of this season. He is by far and away the best driver out here in this XLF1 league. Hopefully we will see a few of the faster drivers in the tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 coming up over the course of next season. But this season it's been a one-man show really from this man. He is the quickest guy in this tier 1. Maybe Horatio can take the fight to him tonight. We'll have to see, but I know that there are quite a few quick and promising drivers coming up through the ranks here at XL, so we'll be hoping that they can come up and challenge Bennett in the next season. But right now Bennett LCFC has the gap, has the lead, has this under control, very very much so at the moment. Horatio there running in second, just a couple of seconds back to Andrew Pittsmith. San on the back of Andrew right now, 8 tenths between these two as they're coming up towards turn 4 of the track. But Andrew has got ahead of San and into that final podium spot. He'll be pretty happy with that is for sure. RaKiMaJe is out of the race. He's retired here. I don't know if he hit the wall. I think he must have had contact with the wall somewhere out there, but he's now out of this race. So unfortunate there for RaKiMaJe. Him and his Ferrari are both thrown in the towel in the early stages of this race. Bennett's still got a 4.6 gap back to Horatio. And one interesting thing about this, and I don't know whether this tells any stories about Bennett, maybe he's not 100% comfortable with this track, but Bennett LCFC is a man who very rarely qualifies on the soft tyres. I would have thought he'd only be doing that if he didn't feel 100% comfortable on them. I don't know what the reasoning is behind it, but he very rarely qualifies on the soft tyres. Today he has done. He usually starts on the mediums and gives himself a bit of an ace in the strategy, but yeah, right now he's running on those softs that he started on, and his teammate Horatio only 5 seconds behind him and almost matching his pace at this point. So I don't know, Horatio could be a bit of a challenger to Bennett over the course of this race. We'll have to see if he can bring that gap down and give him something to worry about over the course of this one. But yeah, that could be an interesting one as this night unfolds. Yeah, we'll have to see how that one develops, but oh, hold on. But yeah, pack just kind of spread out a little bit right now. Not really a whole lot going on. Bennett leads by 5 seconds ahead of Horatio. He's got 3 seconds back to Andrew Pittsmith at this point. He's got a further 2 seconds back to San in 4th. He's a further 2 seconds ahead of Mark Bow in 5th place. Then you've got Mr. Exotic in 6th. Soph running in 7th place right now ahead of Paul Cott in 8th. Viper running in P9 at the moment for this one. As Bennett starts his 7th lap of this race. Looks like Mark Bowe's closing up onto the back of San right now, 0.6 of a second between these two here on lap 8 of this race. Mark Bowe is trying to bring himself back into the equation here after that. Oh no, he's lost it again! As I say that, just as I thought he was starting to get it back together again, he's reset the car. He's lost his front wing. He was coming towards the end of his soft stint as it is, so it's not going to be too much damage to his race strategy there. But Mark Bowe is in the pits here at the end of lap 7. So he's going to get that done. Is he going to put the hards on? No, he's not. He's putting a set of mediums on, so I assume he's going to go for 2 medium stints to the end from here. If he does, say, 2 14-lap stints, that will get him to the end of the race comfortably. So yeah, that's Mark Bowe into the pits, but not the moment that he would have wanted there. Lost about 5 seconds with that clout into the wall, plus losing his front wing. And yeah, he's got work to do here. Mark Bowe quick around this Mexico circuit track, but just seems to have little creases that definitely ironing out. But yeah, unfortunate there for Mark Bowe. But Bennett still leads by almost 5 seconds to his teammate Horatio at this point, and a further 5 seconds back to Andrew Pittsmith in that final podium spot. But Mark Bowe needs to get a grip on these mistakes, because it's costing him. It's costing him dearly in this race. Noticing on the timing screens there, Mr. Exotic's been into the pits to make his pit stop. Mark Bowe has just come out ahead of Viper there, so those two both been in to make pit stops at this point in the race. Viper's got the hards on, so it depends how long he's planning to go in this race. I don't think he can go to the end from here, but he might be able to go sufficiently into the race to put a set of the softs on at the end, maybe. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. But Viper currently running in 8th place. He's just under 2 seconds off of Mark Bowe. He's got 4 seconds back to Mr. Exotic at this point, but Mark Bowe on fresh medium should be able to pull away from Viper pretty easily at this point, and we'll be able to see what exactly Mark Bowe is able to do over the course of this race. But it's not going to be an easy comeback for him, we know that for sure. Paul Codd currently running within 2 seconds of Soph. These two kind of matching each other at the moment, but Soph is on the mediums whereas Paul Codd's on the softs, so we'd expect Paul Codd at this point to be a little bit quicker than Soph. But looks like Soph is managing to get the best out of those medium tyres at the moment. The gap between Bennett and Horatio currently 5 seconds, so that's staying around the same at this point. Not really, that was a hiccup, not really changing or going up or down. But Soph is just over a second ahead of Paul Codd at the moment in that battle for 5th place, and Mr. Exotic just about within a second now of Viper, so this could be getting pretty tasty. Mr. Exotic obviously on the soft tyres, Viper's trying to go along on those hards, so Mr. Exotic you would expect would have a significant pace advantage. Is he going to be able to use that to full effect and get himself up into 8th place in these next few corners? We'll have to wait and see as this unfolds, as Paul Codd's now within 0.8 of a second of Soph in that battle for 5th and 6th places, but we're going to stick with these two. Mr. Exotic trying to get this done with the McLaren of Viper. DRS down this part of the track. Is he going to be close enough to make use of that and use that slipstream to the full effect? I don't think he is. The corner's going to come more than in time for Viper there, and Viper still maintains 8th place for the time being. Paul Codd there still running in P6 just behind Soph, still hasn't been able to get around her at the moment, as we see Andrew Pittsmith is in the pits to make his pit stop here at the end of lap 10. So Andrew Pittsmith, Viper's teammate, is in, running in a solid podium position at the moment is Andrew, and he's off and away once again. San also in the pits, he's just on his way into the box right now. What tyres does San put on? Andrew put on the mediums, and San looks like he's doing the same. So I think these drivers are trying to do maybe 2 medium stints from here, so put a set of mediums on, then another set of mediums on, take you to the end quite easily. I think you can do about 12-13 laps comfortably around this track, maybe 15 at a stretch on the mediums. So I reckon that's probably what they're trying to do at this point, but we see there San coming out in a big load of traffic here. Soph, Markbo and Paul Codd all close in contention here up towards turn 1, and Paul Codd is just going to lose out there to Markbo, so Markbo on the back of Soph now. Mark will be wanting to clear this traffic as soon as he can. He knows he's quicker than these guys at the front, or these guys ahead of him, should I say, up in front of him, should I say. But he's going to look to the outside here. Soph is going to try and defend, as now he's going to have the inside line for the chicane, and Markbo gets that done ahead of Soph. Soph's going to try and come back at him though as he goes deep into the corner, and Soph there, brilliantly done, executes the cutback beautifully there, back up into P5. Markbo couldn't make it stick there, as these two having a great little fight here for 5th place. They've dropped off the back of San whilst they dice it out a little bit. Horatio's in the pits, the race leader, temporary race, no sorry, not Horatio, I do apologise, Bennett is in the pits, so Horatio is now the race leader, should I say. Markbo though still on the back of Soph. Paul Codd's picked up a time penalty for track limits there, but Markbo now looking to the inside of Soph, trying to get this done into this right-hander, and is he going to be able to make that move stick this time? Yes, he does. He's now up into 5th place there, and Soph in the end has to concede that one, as still a second back to Paul Codd, but Paul Codd's dropping off of these two a little bit. Markbo and Soph seem to be just have a little bit too much pace for Paul Codd at this point in the race. Soph is in the pits though to get her medium tyres changed, as is Paul Codd here at the end of lap 11. Horatio still going out there right now in the lead of the race, having inherited that lead off of his teammate Bennett, who came into the pits a lap ago. Horatio's tyres are going to be absolutely screaming out right now, I tell you. He's done 11 laps on those. They're going to be on a cliff pretty shortly, I would imagine. Mr. Exotic has just got ahead of Viper. Viper's obviously on those hard tyres, Mr. Exotic on those reasonably fresh soft tyres, so that was routine stuff there from Mr. Exotic. He needed to get that one done for his strategy to continue to work out. But Soph now 7 seconds off the back of this battle, with Paul Codd a couple of seconds behind her in 9th, and Horatio's still out the front. Markbo now eyeing up his next victim. He's on the back of San here in this battle for 4th place, and can he try and clear him as quickly as he can, and maybe try and go after Andrew Pittsmith for that final podium spot? I reckon Markbo's target at this point has got to be a podium. When you consider that he qualified in 2nd, he was giving Bennett a bit of hassle at the start of this race, but it just didn't really go to plan for him. He hasn't had the consistency over this one, and it's kind of just dropped him off of that equation a little bit. So he now finds himself in a position where he has to get this move done on San, but I reckon his long-term goal in this race has got to be go after Andrew for that final podium spot. That's got to be his target. But here we come out onto the start-finish straight now, and Markbo will have DRS down this part of the track. It should be a relatively routine pass, I think, for him. Here we go. Markbo in that slipstream. You see there riding on board with San. Markbo breezes past him down the start-finish straight and into turn 1. Markbo is up into 4th place. Beautifully done there from the Aston Martin, getting the move done on the Alfa Romeo up into 4th place. Markbo's got ahead of San up into 4th place there, so continuing his charge. Obviously he got ahead of him a few moments ago. San must have found his way back through there, so these two continue to fight it out. That's going to only be slowing down Markbo's charge to try and go after Andrew for the lead. And Horatio finally coming into the pits after 14 laps on the softs. That's a bit suspect. I don't know if they've even got tyre wear on here at Excel, but that's unbelievable, that is, quite literally. San keeping to the back of Mark Bowe. Mark Bowe obviously made a move on him earlier this lap. These two closing in on Andrew a little bit now. Horatio emerges in a clear second place, so he's got that one pretty much in the bag. The Red Bulls look like they're going to be on course for a 1-2 here, barring any major incidents over the course of the rest of this race. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moments away from the restart here. 11 laps left to go at Mexico City for round 17 of XL's F1 League. It looks like we're underway once again. Bennett gets his foot to the floor. Is he going to be able to clear away, or is Horatio going to be able to chase him down? Horatio on those grippier but less durable soft tyres. Can he use that grip and take the fight to his teammate here? Andrew Phipps was in third. You got Mark Bowe, Mr. Exotic's already dicing it out with San holding on to that position in P5 there. Mark Bowe ahead of both of those two. Soph in seventh and Viper at the back of the field as Mark Bowe's managed to get ahead of Andrew Phipps up into third place here. They're side by side up towards the chicane. Andrew's going to have the inside line, but Mark Bowe's just ahead as they come in towards the braking zone now. Can Andrew get it back? I think Andrew's back up into third place there. He's managed to get it back there ahead of Mark. There's great battling going on between those two. Bennett looked like he was under the cosh a little bit there from Horatio, but he's managed to weather that storm and is back up into the lead here. 4 tenths between these two teammates at Red Bull, going at it here in the final 10 laps of the race. We've got Andrew Pittsmith just ahead of Mark Bowe at the moment, a second and a bit back to San, who's got Mr. Exotic all over the back of him in 5th and 6th places. Then Soph and Viper at the back in 7th and 8th places in this one. But Horatio looking to the inside of Bennett, coming up towards this right-hander, and he's managed to make the move there as Horatio takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix at XL F1 League. But what can Bennett do about that? Bennett had the race within his grasp and had a comfortable lead before the safety car, and the safety car is just trying to spanner in the works here as his teammates now got the soft tyres on. The question is, can Horatio pull away on the much grippier soft tyre, and are those tyres for Bennett going to come back to him later in the race, with the fact that they're mediums compared to Horatio's soft. Horatio's soft will be quicker at this point, but they will definitely wear out quicker as well. Into turn 1, Horatio has the lead ahead of Bennett. There's Andrew and Mark Bowe in the background there. San just ahead of Mr. Exotic, and in fact San is just trying to hold it around the outside here of Mr. Exotic. Mark Bowe trying to pressure the back of Andrew Pittsmith still, but San still behind Mr. Exotic still behind San at the moment. A bit of a gap back to Viper and Soph running in 7th and 8th as they're battling it out towards the chicane. Soph trying to throw one down the inside in the end. She's a little bit too far back to make that one work just there. Viper parking his car on the inside. Is Soph going to be able to drive around the outside of him here for this next right-hander? She does. Brilliant move there from Soph up into 7th place ahead of Viper. Horatio still leads by 8 tenths ahead of Bennett. Andrew and Mark Bowe in hot pursuit there. These four have gapped San and Mr. Exotic by quite a bit, and Soph and Viper still battling out over 7th and 8th places, but it's really a four-way battle for the lead at the moment, and Horatio is trying to break away from these other three as Mark Bowe's got ahead of Andrew Pittsmith up into 3rd place. So he's into that podium spot now with Mark Bowe. Can he go after Bennett? Can he keep himself within range of Horatio? He needs to get ahead of Bennett quickly because he's on the soft tyres. Bennett's mediums will start to come back at him towards the end as those softs for Horatio, Mark and Andrew start to wear off. But over the line to complete up 27, fastest up in the race there from Viper. No, sorry. A penalty for Viper. Fastest up in the race there from Mark Bowe in the Aston Martin. Goes quicker than Horatio and Bennett. So this is now race on at the front between these drivers. Who is going to take this one here in Mexico City for the XLF1 League round 17 of the season? This is going to be a titanic finish to this race as the Red Bulls currently lead the way, but the Aston Martin of Mark Bowe is coming for them at a rate of knots. And hey, Andrew Pittsmith has dropped off the back of these three a little bit now. It looks like he's out of the shot of a podium position here in this race. So from Viper still battling it out over 7th place as Viper's trying to throw one down the inside into the chicane. He's a little bit too far back to make that one work at the moment. But Horatio has the lead over Bennett, half second between these two. He's pulled out a bit of a gap coming through that corner there. Horatio seems to have the better grip on those soft tyres. Mark Bowe still trying to pressure Bennett into a mistake here, but Bennett not taking the bait in any way, shape or form, holding his nerve and keeping onto his racing line very nicely at the moment. Viper's got it back ahead of Soph up into 7th place. I don't know if Soph made a mistake, but she's already dropped a little bit off of Viper there in that battle. Mr. Exotic still in the back of San here. These guys in 5th and 6th places, 3 tenths between him with Mr. Exotic. Goes a little bit deep into that corner coming into the stadium section and completely cuts the second part of it as well. He would have got a warning for that. He doesn't want to do that again. But Horatio just over a second ahead of Bennett at the moment, and Mark Bowe very close here. Can Mark Bowe make the move here on Bennett up towards turn 1? It looks like he's got DRS and he's going to have to move down into turn 1 there. Mark Bowe is up into 2nd. Can Bennett come back at him? He throws a little feint to the inside, but Mark Bowe's completed the move up into 2nd place there. Beautifully done from Mark Bowe. Can he now try and chase her after the leader? Horatio goes a little bit wide on the exit of turn 3 there, but gets away with it, and he is now up into that 2nd place well and truly. San's got ahead of Mr. Exotic up into 5th place there. Nicely done from San, but Mark Bowe's now got into 2nd place and now can try and chase down Horatio if he can. Horatio very wide there coming through that next corner though, which is going to frustrate him a little bit. Bennett though just behind these guys, still waiting in the wings, and he's on those medium tyres. Those tyres will come back at him at the end of the race, we know that for sure, so he'll definitely have to pace up the end of the race. But the question is, can he keep himself within that range where he can make the most of that tyre advantage at the end of this race? That is the question, and that is what we're going to find out over the course of the next 7 laps. As we see Mr. Exotic still on the back of Sand, these two separated by half a second as Sand goes very wide there. Mr. Exotic's going to get the run. Can he throw one down the inside into the braking zone? Not for the time being. The Alfa Romeo even staying ahead of the Williams there by the skin of his teeth as Mark Bow sets another fastest lap in the race, and he's really on the back of Horatio now. Look at this, he's going to have DRS down the start finish straight. Here we go, Mark Bow going for the lead here at the Mexican Grand Prix. Looks to the inside, coming down towards turn 1. Horatio leaves from the gap on the inside, and here we go, Mark Bow is now in the lead. Incredible turn of fortune for this man. He had the pace in the qualifying session, was up there at the start, made a few mistakes and dropped down the field, but a safety car has worked absolute wonders for this man, and he now leads the race. Incredible stuff here from Mark Bow. Horatio there running in second has now got his teammate looking to his inside, coming into the chicane, and Medic's made that move up into second. As he know, Horatio is still there on the outside. They're side by side all the way through the chicane. That's going to only lose them time to the leader Marcus. They're still side by side coming through this right-hander. Horatio halted on the inside. They're going to be holding each other up no end here while they battled it out, with Mark Bow clearing off into the sunset there in the lead of the race. He's now got almost a 2-second lead to these guys already. The Red Bulls need to pull their finger out here. They need to figure out who's going to go after them here, who's going to lead their charge towards the win of this race. At the moment, they're throwing it away for each other. Incredible scenes here as Mr. Exotic 6/10 clear of Mr. Exotic right now. These two still giving it everything for 5th place. Mark Bow leads, and he's got 6 laps left to see this through. He's got 6 laps to keep his nose clean, not make any mistakes, and bring this one home for a race win. The question is, can he do it? Another fastest lap of the race for the race leader. What a job he's doing in this final part of the race. But we've seen him make mistakes over the course of this one, and he needs to keep this on the island. He needs to keep his head together over the course of the next 6 laps. But is that going to be possible for him at this point? Bennett has made the move on Horatio down the start finish straight. He's now up into second. He's now within 2 seconds of the race leader Mark Bow. Can he take the fight to him here? What racing this is here at XLF1 League. If you want to join, go to the description and click the Discord link. Join the Discord server, become part of the action across 3 tiers of Formula 1 action here at XL, as we see Bennett go very wide there, but holding on to that P2 for the time being. But this is action aplenty at the moment. Mark Bow trying to check out into the distance, trying to make the most of these two battling it out, but Bennett's now got well and truly cleared Horatio into that second spot and can now absolutely maximise his potential. But Mark Bow has already got the gap and seems to be matching the pace of Bennett right now. The top two seem to be going pretty similar guns. Horatio doesn't seem to be able to go with them at this point. Sand's still close to the back of Mr. Exotic, but the gap's now just over a second, so Mr. Exotic's gained a bit on this lap so far. Mark Bow coming out of the final corner, about to complete lap 31 of the race. Let's see if this is another fastest lap. It isn't. Bennett comes over the line, and he doesn't do the fastest lap either, so the tyres now starting to wear off a little bit for Mark Bow. They will be definitely conscious of that as we come into the closing stages of this race. He's still got a slight tyre advantage over Bennett at the moment, but that will wither out as we get closer to the checkered flag. But right now, Mark Bow has the lead and has a possibility of taking, I think, I can't remember if he's won before. I don't think he has. Not on my watch he hasn't, but maybe he has. But I don't know, could be his first win at XL, I'm not sure. I might be horrifically wrong on that one, but Bennett's still just ahead of Horatio right now. 4 tenths between these two. That's still giving us a really good scrap out here. Oh, as we see Bennett there getting a big slide. But keeping it together for the time being. Absolutely brilliant action between these drivers in at second and third places, but they're losing time lap after lap to Mark Bow as we see Horatio now within 3 tenths of Bennett. Still can't get it done, still can't come back at him here. Sand back to within 7 tenths of Mr. Exotic. That gap's ebbing and flowing at the moment. Mark Bow's coming through the final corner, about to start lap 33. 4 laps left to go for this man. Can he bring it home and take his first win at XLF1 here at the Mexican Grand Prix? Hasn't got long, but those tyres are going to be on a knife's edge. Those soft tyres are on borrowed time. I'm telling you that now. They're going to have next to no tread left by the time we get to that last lap. It's going to be all about composure here for this driver in the Aston Martin. Mark Bow has just got He's just got to get it round, really. He's got to finish this race. He's got 2 seconds in hand. He should be able to see this one through, but it's going to be very nip and tuck, because I'll tell you what, he's going to have to be a master of saving those tyres if he is to win this race. I'll tell you that now. Horatio still within half a second of Bennett at the moment. These two continuing to just stress each other out a little bit, which is going to just halt their charge ever so slightly on Mark Bowe. It's going to stop them from being able to chase him down with full oomph, but the gap now almost 3 seconds between Mark and Bennett, so it's going up. Mark continuing to pull out that gap. Horatio gets a 3-second time penalty, presumably for track limits there. He's been cutting a few corners through that middle sector, which wouldn't have helped him at all. Mark Bowe, though, has now got 3 and a bit laps left to go. He's coming into the stadium section for the 33rd time here in this race. Bennett and Horatio still so close. 3 tenths between these guys coming through the final sector. We've got Andrew Pittsmith in the background there in 4th, a little bit far off of the battle for the podium spots. He's not going to be in the podium spot battle unless these two make a mistake or crash into each other, but I can't see that happening. They seem to be pretty clean at the moment. We've got Mr. Exotic running in 5th, just ahead of San. These two 0.6 of a second apart. Viper closing up onto this battle a little bit now. He's managed to shake off Soph. Soph 8 seconds behind in 8th place, as Horatio's managed to get the move back down on Bennett up in turn 1, and he's up into 2nd place once again. These two now 2.6 behind Mark Bowe. They gained a little bit on Mark Bowe coming down the start finish straight. Have they now got the pace to take the fight to him? Mark Bowe's tyres have done 10 laps. Those soft tyres have done 10 laps, but so have Horatio's. Bennett, I'm sure at this point in the race, is going to start to feel the advantage of having the medium tyres on. He's done less distance on those compared to the durability of those softs. The softs only last about sort of 8 or 9 laps before they start to go off, so Mark Bowe and Horatio are going to be finding reduced grip enormously on those tyres. Bennett should have plenty of life left in those mediums. They start to wear off after about 12-13 laps. They don't actually reach their cliff until at least 15 laps into the stint, so at this point in the race you'd expect that Bennett would probably have the upper hand, but he's not closing the gap. He's not getting past Horatio, and he's not particularly faster than Mark Bowe, but Mark Bowe's got a penalty. Oh no, Mark Bowe's got a time penalty. What nature is that penalty? We're going to find out over the next couple of laps, but that could be costly for Mark Bowe in his pursuit of the win as we start in the penultimate lap now of this race. Horatio running in 2nd has got 3 tenths back to Bennett. Bennett's got DRS once again coming down the start finish straight. He's going to look to the inside, I'm sure. Here we go. Bennett's going to look down the inside into turn 1. He's going to surely get this one done up into 2nd place. They're side by side, but no, he backs out of it. In the end, Bennett breaks very early and Horatio holds it around the outside there in 2nd place. Mark Bowe still running in the lead. Got almost 3 seconds out the front over Horatio at this point, but he's going to have very worn out tyres, as is Horatio. Bennett still can't get anything done, still can't find a way around Horatio at this point. San is on the back of Mr. Exotic. Viper now joining this battle as well, as San's looking to the outside of Mr. Exotic. Viper waiting, in fact Viper just waiting in the wings there, waiting to pounce if these two crash into each other or make a mistake, but for the time being Mr. Exotic holding San off by the skin of his teeth. This is great fights here throughout the field, but right now Mark Bowe has that lead by 3.5 seconds ahead of Horatio and Bennett, and with just a lap and a bit left to go, I think Mark Bowe's going to take the win on the track, but the question is he going to be able to take the win on the classification with that time penalty that he's got? But is Bennett within that striking distance to be able to take the win with the penalties from Mark Bowe? We're going to find out over the next lap or so, but Horatio and Bennett still battling it out. Mr. Exotic's got ahead of San up into 5th place. Viper now watching and waiting and hoping to knock Sam while he's down if he can, as he cuts the corner massively there, does Viper. He's going to look to the inside here of San, but San's going to hold that inside line for the next corner, and it's going to keep onto that P6 for the time being. Viper looking for any way around him which he can try and exploit, but at the moment it's not forthcoming. Looking to the outside into the stadium again. San just covers that inside line, breaks a little bit later and fends off the position. Bennett's up into 2nd place here. At the start of the last lap has made that move into turn 1 on his teammate Horatio. Mark Bowe has got about 3/4 of a lap to go until he might be able to take a win here, but he has got the time penalty. As we've said a few times, that could cost him the race when he's picked up another time penalty, and I'll tell you what, if he hadn't already shot himself in the foot, then he has now. That's 2 3-second time penalties in the space of about a couple of laps there, so he's going to lose at least 6 seconds by the time we get to the end of this race. That will mean that Bennett LCFC will take another win here in the XLF1 League. Horatio is dropping off at the back of Bennett. Bennett's already pulling that gap out by quite a bit there. He's already got over a second to his teammate. Mr. Exotic's got Viper behind him. Viper's got ahead of San up into 6th place, so Viper has gained a position here on this final lap of the race. San down to 7th place here. Mark Bowe though coming into the stadium for the final time. Got a couple of corners left to go. What a drive from this man. He's had pace, he's had talent, but unfortunately hasn't kept it within the track limits at all times. He comes out of the final corner to take the win on the track. He's got a 5-second penalty for an unserved penalty. Bennett is going to take the win here at Mexico City for round 17 of the XLF1 League. Bennett LCFC once again with another win. A great job from him. Horatio and Mark Bowe dropping down the field like stones here. Andrew Pittsmith, who was nowhere in the final part of that race, takes P2. So very fortuitous there for Andrew Pittsmith. Horatio finishes in 3rd place ahead of Mark Bowe in 4th. Mr. Exotic comes over the line to finish in 5th place, but loses out on that. Viper gets 5th on the penalties. Mr. Exotic 6th. San comes over the line to take 7th place here in this race. Sophie's coming out of the final corner, and it's going to be an 8th place finish for her at the end of this race. Some great points there. 4 points for her championship for finishing the race. But that is that for the Mexican Grand Prix here at XL Formula 1 League. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the action, then be sure to go to the Discord server in the description, solely on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platforms. But if you want to get involved, please do so. And also, if you want to get involved in Motive Racing as well, the link below that, and join Motive Racing. Join both of those links. We've got some great action on F1, which we both host. XL are doing Wednesdays and Sundays, Motive doing the Fridays. So if you want to get involved, click both of those links, sign up to the respective Discord servers. We're going to get off, guys. Thanks ever so much. We will see you in the next one. Have a great evening, and peace.